Hey peeps, happy Thursday. I am doing an impromptu hangout. I don't think that anyone's going to be actually catching this live, or very few people will catch this live, but I wanted to come on and let you guys know what's going on. If you're part of the Peeps group, you know already, but if you're not, it's been very quiet around these parts. We had a bit of an incident on, was it Monday? Yeah, Monday evening, I think it was. There was a cat fight in the garden. It might have been between a fox and a cat. It might have been between two other cats, but Chiana was in my bedroom with me, and I had my window open with the cat-proof mesh over it. And yes, so she heard the fight and immediately went into attack mode. She managed to pull the mesh off the open window, and then I'm on the top floor of the house, so she was throwing herself at an open window in a fury, and I was really worried about her getting out, so I tried to catch her, which was stupid. Really, really stupid. Whenever she's in that kind of a mood, I have learnt that I leave her alone, but I was just so worried that she was going to throw herself out of the window, so I went to catch her, and I have been got quite thoroughly. So I actually can't move my thumb at the moment. She also got me on my index finger on the other hand, right in there. This one I can move again, which is much better, but it's still swollen. This one, I don't know if you can see the difference. This one's very, very swollen. The movement's coming back, which is great. My legs are also covered in scratches and bruises. So I actually have very little mobility in my hands at the moment. My brother actually had to cut my dinner up for me last night, which was fun time. I can't even do a thumbs up. Fun times. So yes, I haven't been able to do any of the things that I was planning on doing this week with Big Bird and Mum. The sloper making is just not going to happen, which sucks. But I can work through the rest of these. The dad's up in the main house. Mum, Big Bird, and Baby Bother have gone for like an hour-long walk. So I thought I'd come and hang out with you guys. And there are a few of you here. We have a lovely Caroline Patricia Rose. Hello, hi, welcome. Jessie's here. Hello, hope you're recovering well. I'm getting there, thank you. It's much better than it was. Kate says hi. Hello, welcome. So there's 22 of you. So I thought I'd do a little impromptu hangout. People can catch up later. I'll leave the video up. It probably won't be a very long one. Like I say, the family are out for about an hour and a half walk. So I thought I would come on and let you guys know what's happened, let you guys know why there's been no videos this week, because I can't sew. I can't even cut my own dinner. So yeah, James and I are making jokes that I'm like a T-Rex at the moment. We're like T-Rex fighting. So yes. Thanita says, hope you're doing well. I am, thank you. I mean, other than this hurting, and it does, I'm fine. You know, I'm taking painkillers and I have some super strong antibiotics, and they gave me a tetanus shot at A&E, which the vet, because unfortunately Chiana's taken a turn for the worse with her cystitis, bladder infection, so she's gone back to the vets, and he's given her some antibiotics and pain meds via intravenously, and then I've got more stuff like that for her to take orally for the next couple of days. So we're also going to try a different food, a different diet for her urinary tract health. But the vet does say that if I can't get this under control, it's a quality of life issue. So it's quite serious, and I am worried about her. And it's my own fault. This is all my own fault. Usually, like I say, whenever she gets into this kind of mood, I leave her alone. I back off, and she calms down, and it's called referred aggression, and she can't get at the thing that she's annoyed at, so she will lash out at anything that moves next to her. And as I say, this time she'd clawed down the supposedly cat-proof window screen that I have up and was trying to throw herself out of a top floor window. So I couldn't let her do it. Everyone downstairs heard. They all came running, and it's like, oh my god, what's wrong? It's like, please come now. And oh yeah, drama. Nancy's here. Good morning, Nancy. Finita said, sorry, just a spelling issue in her first measures. Klim says hi. Susan says good morning from Georgia. Good morning. Kimmy says hi, joining from the Bahamas. Oh, good morning. Olivia says good morning from Iowa. What a great surprise to see you live this morning. Thank you. I'm so glad that you. There's 38 of us. I genuinely didn't think anyone would kind of like be around so last minute. You know, like as it says, impromptu. But I just thought I could leave it up afterwards, and anyone that wanted to catch up with what's going on could watch it later. But I'm so glad that some of you can join us. Thank you. Eileen says, lovely to see you, Sean, after your cat fight. Love to Gianna. Thank you. Patricia says, hi from Sydney, Australia. Still in lockdown, coming up to 12 weeks now. It's a good thing I can sew and knit. Oh, definitely. Jojo's here. Good morning. And Jessie says, oh, poor Chi. That must be so upsetting for you. Yeah, when I was expecting to go back to the vet and get cystitis medicine and just, you know, like ask about maybe sort of like, I did ask about Feliway, and he said, yep, I'm quite happy for you to try that for her. I mean, to be fair, most of the time she's a really chilled cat, and she hasn't had this kind of, because where we lived before, we were on the ground floor and there were loads of cats coming in and out of the garden, and she used to get very upset quite a lot because there was lots of different cats that would use our garden as a through road. But obviously living here, I thought our next door neighbour has a cat, and the other neighbour has dogs. But I've only seen the next door neighbour's big ginger Tom wandering around, and he's not intact. And Chiana's been totally fine. But yeah, she just, Nia says she heard like a yowl before she heard the crash bang wallop from my room. So I think it was either a fox cat, the cat had come across a fox, or it was another cat and a cat fighting. Yeah, so stress is one of the causes for severe cystitis. So yeah, I was expecting her to take her to the vet, and the vet just give me some more medication and you know, like, yeah, but he did say, like, if this continues, it is a quality of life issue, because I mean, she's clearly in pain. So I am going to be doing absolutely everything I can to keep her as relaxed as possible, as chilled as possible. She's on a diet. She's going to try some different food. So fingers crossed I can get it under control and we won't have to have the worst happen, which I would be devastated about, as you can imagine. I mean, anyone would, wouldn't they? So yeah. Anyway, let's see. Rachel Lynn says good morning, and ARS Worm says good morning from Canada. Remind me of your first name, please. And Jennifer says good morning. So hi everybody. I'm gonna go through some more of my patterns, and you guys will have to help keep me accountable this time, because as I say, Big Bird is out walking the dog with Mum and Baby Bother, so I don't have anyone in person to help me. And no laughing at me, because I am literally like a T-Rex at the moment. I can't do anything. I am like, I'm even having to have car doors open for me and my seatbelt plugged in for me by somebody else, because as I say, it's all of this area on this hand and then this area on this hand, and it's just amazing to me that I how much you rely on this, and even like pushing just on the thumb, because I can move my thumb tip, but all the strength comes from here, and oh, that hurts. So anyway, no laughing at the kind of like uselessness of me at the moment. But let's do some patterns, shall we? Let's do some patterns. Now, where did I get to? I got to there. So, I don't know if I'm going to even be able to write. It's going to be interesting. Let's see how we go. So this is just dresses. Yeah, see, like I just... Anneli, thank you. I knew it. Jennifer's here as well. Good morning. Catherine says good morning. Hello. And Stitched Treasure says good morning from Maryland. Good morning. Oh, I did it. Noelia says, hi, Sean. What a pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting this live. I hope your wounds are healing well. They are healing well. They are. They're just, I mean, they look horrific. They really hurt. If I don't keep my hand up, they throb. They did give me a sling at the hospital, because this has happened to me once before, where Chiana's bitten me, and a lot less badly than this, but she got me on the back, on like there's no flesh on this part, so she managed to get her teeth into a tendon, or the tendon sheath. So they were worried about it, and I was hospitalized for 4 days. but we left it 24 hours before we did anything about it because it was just like, oh, it's just a cat scratch. It's like, so this time round, we phoned 111 immediately, who then got a doctor to call me at 4 in the morning. The doctor took all my details and sent me to A&E. We were waiting in A&E for 2.5 hours. Finally got seen by a doctor who was incredibly dismissive and didn't even look at them. But then one of the nurses came in and he was lovely, and he was the one that gave me a sling. But it was one of those paper kind of like, just, it was a bit of a nonsense. He just said, keep your arm elevated and this will help you do that. So I'm just keeping it up. And then tetanus jab, which I didn't really need, but they did that anyway to cover their backsides. And then just giant horse pills for my amoxiclav and antibiotics to make sure that I don't get cat scratch fever. But yeah, this time around, she didn't get any like tendons or anything. She got all the fleshy parts. Well, I can write, just not very well. I'm not going to click the top back on. Monica would be very upset with me, but it's just so I can use it. Right. Okay. So, shall we do some patterns? Tracy says, wow, just got home from work. This is lovely. Hello, everyone from Melbourne. Hello, good evening. I'm so glad that you guys are finding this a nice surprise. I just, like I said, I had planned on putting videos out this week, and just can't physically do the sewing, so I thought we'd come and do something that I can do. So yes. Okay, this first pattern is the Vogue 8947. This one is staying. I love this one. I've made a lot of the dresses. I think I've made 8, and then I retraced it recently in the new size that I need, because I've done a size, I think 8 before, and I needed a size 12 this time. I still need to tweak the 2 that I've made because they're still quite baggy under here. I need to take these princess seams in a little bit, but I love this dress, so this one's staying. Vogue 9296. You guys haven't seen the finished one yet because I haven't hemmed it. Is it up here? Easily accessible? It's not easily accessible, no. I actually really like this. It is it's not an out like an everyday dress. This is definitely a I'm going out dress. I made this version here. I really like it. I am going to wear it. I have to wear a bra with a J hook on the back so that I can pull the bra straps in, because it is a cold shoulder top. But I do really like it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys think about it, because you never got to see it in any of the vlogs because I didn't have the right underwear on, and I tried filming it and it just didn't do it justice, and I didn't want anyone to be put off by the not doing it justice. So it still needs hemming. I made this 2 months ago, it still needs hemming, but I will get there. Next we've got Vogue 9357. So I think these are all my Vogue kind of like Vogue dress and options patterns. 9357, I've made this loads of times, as you guys know. I love the skirt. I don't like the midriff panel, and the bodice has pointy darts that are an inch above the apex, which is weird. It's a copy of a designer dress, so I'm keeping this one. I really like it. That one's not going anywhere. It's just I need to try and work on. I've used the Butterick 6244 for the bodice one, because it was a high neck bodice, and I think what I need to do is, once I've done my sloper, is just draft basic, because it basically is like a sloper pattern with just some seaming in it, and I think I just need to draft it from my sloper once I've done that. Let's see. Kate said, I've got to keep my hand up. Every time I put it down, it's like throb. Kate says, I'm home from work poorly, so this is a welcome distraction. Oh, I'm so sorry you're not very well, Kate, but thank you for joining us, and I'm glad we can distract you. Rachel Lynn says, let's do the patterns. I could use some happy. Yesterday was awful. Let's go with awful. We had a bit of a scare. Luckily, the kid doesn't have it, but was a scary day. Oh gosh, bless you, Rachel Lynn. So yes, patterns and distraction I can do. So now we're coming into my Vogue options patterns. This is, keep my hand up, 8667. I really like this one. I think that's really pretty. And I like the collar on it. Having made the collar of the 6130, the red one, which doesn't really behave itself, I'm not sure how much I would enjoy wearing the collar, but I really like the bodice of this one. And actually, this might not be a bad candidate It's not quite as high necked as I wanted it, I was going to say, for that last one. But no, that one's staying, although I haven't made it yet. I want to make it. This section we're going to have it's probably not going to get rid of many, to be honest. Although I unfortunately didn't get to take part in the Labour Day Something Delightful sale. I'm thinking there's going to be a Black Friday one, but I had a giant vet bill again. So that's where my pattern spending money went on Chiana. Next, we've got Vogue 9267. I really like this. I think it's quite really pretty. I really like top stitching details they've done on this blue one. Again, I probably wouldn't make the pencil skirt just because I don't find them overly comfortable to wear, but I do like all the top stitching details on these. So that was one section and we got rid of none, but I'm not surprised. And I have put my details of what I'm wearing down in the description. I've remembered to add the link. So this is the rest of my Vogue and Vogue Options patterns. And again, just for clarity's sake, I'm probably not going to get rid of very many of these. Let's turn the brightness on that up. There we go, that's a bit better. Nikki's here. Afternoon, peeps. Keep my hand up. Feeling Crafty says, hello, what a lovely surprise. Oh, awesome. Thank you for joining us. Right, next we've got Vogue 9292. I really like this. So this is a princess seam dress with like a little V, and you can put in sort of flesh colored ones to make it look really plunging, but it's not. Or you could put in something decorative there, like a little bit of lace or something. But I really like the lines on this one, and I do like the little grown on sleeves because they stop at the cap of the shoulder, so I like that one. That one's going to stay. Let's see. Oh, I did the wrong thing. Where? Olivia, I'm really sorry. I pressed the wrong button on your comment. So if you wouldn't mind just commenting that again, that would be great. I pressed the wrong one. I'm sorry. Nancy's off to the gym. Have a good day all. Good morning, Nancy, and enjoy the gym. Feeling Crafty says, hi from Cork in Ireland. Hello, welcome. Nikki says, actually, what have you done, or has Chi been nibbling you again? Yes, we had. If you can be bothered or want to know what's going on, I did explain it right at the beginning of the video. But yeah, Chiana had a little incident on Monday night. So yes, I am. Yeah, I mean that's that. Hang on. That's not even the worst ones. I mean, this is actually the worst injury, but it doesn't look the worst. No. I got thoroughly got by my cat. And I put the pictures up in the Peeps group and everyone was like, oh, did you fall over? Is that where the bruises came from? It was just like, no, that was all the cat. Let's see. Jane says, hi from Bristol. Hello. Julie says, good morning. How lovely. Coffee and Sean. Good morning, Julie. Feeling Crafty says, you poor thing, looked very sore. Yes. Olivia says, hit the like button, everyone. Thank you, Olivia. I'm sorry I blocked your previous message. I don't know. I've pressed the wrong button. Clearly. So, and Olivia says, oh my gosh, Sean, that's painful. Yeah. Nikki says, right, going back to have a nosy. Yes, please do. Because I don't want to have to keep saying it over and over again, because all the people that it's all at the beginning for what happened. So I can't do a thumbs up. Keep trying. It's as good as my thumbs up gets on their hand. Here we go. So Vogue 9373. I love this. Again, I would have to, it does have a back, but it does have the cold shoulder detail. So it goes all the way up to the back on that one as well. I would have to wear a specific type of bra with this one, but it's the same as that other cold shoulder Vogue dress that I've got as well. So I am going to keep that one. I would like to make that one. This is Vogue 8544. This is one of the ones that I bought like 20 years ago now. I'm going to not swear at you all. I didn't mean to do that. Again, I really like this, and I like the options that you've got for either putting like a sheer overlay on, a lace overlay, or just using the same type of fabric. I think it's a really pretty dress, so I'm going to keep that one as well. Even though, what's the size range on that one? Goes up to a 10. It's going to be one of those ones that I'll have to finagle the sizing on it, but I like that. This is Vogue 9343. I think this is a really good base for the strawberry dress, the Lyrica Matoshi strawberry dress that went around last year. And because it is so low cut at the front, I like this. I will, because it's plunging right down to the waist, I would sew it up or put like a power mesh bar underneath or something like that. But yeah, I do like that one. I like that one a lot. So that one's staying. As I said, I'm probably not going to get rid of a lot of patterns from this next section. We've got Vogue 9239. It's another one of the Vogue options ones, and it has the custom fit on it. I really like the stripy one. I like these, and I love the look of this view here. I really like the look of that view, but I probably wouldn't make it with those sleeves. And if I did these sleeves, I would probably put an elastication cut channel at the bottom just to gather in a bit, so they were a bit more, because they look lovely on her, but they would annoy me. So I'd probably make them a little longer and then sort of like finagle the sleeves a bit. But I do very much like the bodice of this one. So again, this one's staying. Rachel Lynn says, I like the idea of adding a power mesh bra. That might open up some options for me. Yeah, I think it's a really clever trick, because if you get one that's a fairly good skin color for you, you can possibly wear like a flesh colored bra as well, which then wouldn't be quite so obvious. And I'm not quite sure how you do it, but I know Mimi G does a lot of power mesh under a lot of her dresses, her slinky dresses. She puts an entire power mesh dress underneath it as well for like sucking it, purposes. So I think it's quite a good like thing to consider with dresses like that, where you're like, oh, I love it, but I couldn't wear it, because it's like, how can I make this work for me? And how can I use this pattern as a base to get to something that will work for me? Again, we've got Vogue 8470. I love this. This would be great for color blocking, actually, because it has the V midriff, and I like the sleeves on it. Now, there are some halter neck versions. So this one, is that the only halter neck? E is also a halter neck. There we go. So this one and this one are halter neck. So you'd have to wear a halter neck bra or a strapless bra with those ones. But the rest of them do have a full back, which would allow you to wear a bra. So I really like this. I think it's really pretty. And it also has like a little triangle. I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but at the bust there's actually a little triangular insert, so you can make it not quite so booby if you want to. So I'm going to keep that one. Let's see. Oh, no, hand up. Eliva's here. Good morning. Kate says, hi, Jane. I'm also in Bristol, and 8544 is super cute. Yes, it is a nice dress. I like that. I would like to experiment with that one. Sewn by Jan says, what a nice surprise. Love your outfit today, Sean. Thank you. Beach pajamas. It is linked in the description down below. This fabric was from the textile room and it's not available anymore. I bought it quite a few years ago. But they have some beautiful palm leaf viscoses on the textile centre at the moment if you were looking for they don't have any of the red ones. They have like a rusty coloured base and a bluey grey base. We have 8727, and it's very similar to that last one. A, B, and C are all halter neck dresses, so I wouldn't make those ones. But D, E, and F, so D, E, and F all have a full back on them. And again, they have midriff panels, so this might be a good one for colour blocking. This is definitely a summery dress because there are no sleeve options whatsoever. I really, really like E and F. These two, I think they're lovely. Let's see. Cecile says, might want to look at getting a punch metal or expanded metal panel to go over the window to keep airflow, keep open for airflow. I'm sure your handyman can build a frame. to inset in the window for you. Yeah, we've been coming up with solutions so that she can still have some air and get to the window and see out of it. And I can not cook in my room, but that she can't bring down, because I don't want to repeat it that night. That was not fun. So yes, but yeah, we're having a look into a few different options to seal, and thankfully the weather's cooled off at the moment, so it's actually not too bad sleeping with the windows just cracked for sort of a little bit of airflow and my fan on, so it's not too bad. It's not too bad. And I mean, again, I like mum was really worried about Chi because this is the second time that she's bitten me really badly. And it's my own fault. The first time I didn't know that cats could do this kind of thing. And I just put my hand in to rescue one of mum's ornaments, and it was stupid. And this time round, I knew better, but I just couldn't let her throw herself out of the window. So, yeah, we need to just cat-proof the window. And then if this ever happens again, which I hope it doesn't for her sake, because it's not fun for her either. If it ever happens again, then I can just leave the room and leave her to have her little tantrum, and then come back when she's calmed down. It was really funny when the doctor phoned at 4 in the morning. It woke Chi up as well, and she was purring and walking all over me and rubbing herself all over me. She was just like, "Oh, you're awake. I would like some food, please." And it was really funny. I'm talking to the doctor about how this vicious beast has attacked me, and she's just like, love you, feed me." It's like, oh. Let's see. Jane says, "Hi, Kate, fellow Bristolian. Lots of Bristolians today." Olivia says, "We have dog guards on our windows and screen doors more because of our cat. The dogs are fine. It's the cat. It's always the cat, isn't it?" Okay, so next we've got Vogue 8998. This is another one. I bought it because I really liked this neoprene one that they've made. I think it looks beautiful on her. It's got a waistband, it's got princess seams, you can put little cap seams on. There's also the option for a collar, which comes down to a point in the back. I do really like these Vogue options patterns. I mean, usually it's kind of like, here's a few different tweaks on one standard pattern that are all fairly easy and you could do it yourself, but they've done the work for you. So I do like that. And again, this one is staying. I would like to make it up sooner rather than later. And we've got Vogue 8997. This one is staying. I've made two of these for myself. There will be more. I would like to make the slightly shorter one next time with the fluttery sleeves, but I've made two maxi versions. One in a rayon, which there is sew along for, and then one in the rayon cotton suiting blend that I've made that I would like to use as like a dress to put over jumpers and things like that. Although I am a little chubby at the moment, so it doesn't actually fit like that. It fits much tighter than, and I wouldn't be able to get anything else underneath of it. But I love that pattern. Highly recommend that pattern. It's really easy to make. The skirt is a bit of a beast. It does take, there's a lot of panels in there and it's just all the sewing them together. But again, I personally like to French seam stuff. You don't have to. You can totally overlock your edges. So yeah, I really like that pattern. Highly, highly recommend. Here's another one I haven't made yet, 8902. I really liked this version here. I thought those little insets there, if you did do them in a dark color like this one, and not necessarily even the sleeves, just literally those insets at the waist in dark color, would be so slimming. I think that would look really, really nice. And I like the idea of trying all the different seaming on this one, so I'm going to keep that, give that one a go. Let's see. Olivia says yes, it's always the cat. Tracy says hugs to the fur mum. Thank you, Tracy. Sandra says hi from Australia. Hello, good evening. Kathy says good morning, Sean and Peeps. Didn't know you were doing the hangout today. It's very impromptu. There's 81 of us here. I can't believe it. I really didn't think anyone would be available. But yeah, I can't do any sewing at the moment because of this. So I thought I would come and do the thing that I can do, and I've been itching to get back to, which is patterns. And I miss you guys, and I wanted you guys to know what was going on and why there was radio silence. So yeah, little impromptu hangouts. Next, we've got the Vogue 8648. I haven't made this one yet, but Mum has. Mum is not a fan of it because it's quite low cut, and it also it doesn't stay on her shoulders quite as well as she would like it to. We've had to put a strip, like a bias cut strip that's sewn together along the back to keep the shoulders in place. I think that actually looks really nice, and I really like this dress on her, but she's not a fan of it, but I like it, so I'm going to keep it and I will make it. Let's see. Ange says, oh, I thought you'd be resting. Hi from Melbourne. Good evening, Ange. Karen says, good morning from Long Island. Good morning. Kim says, hello from Guernsey. Nice to see you. Good afternoon. No, is it still good morning yet? What time is it? Oh, yeah, good afternoon. And Jessie says, the thing that you can do, waffle. Exactly. I can totally waffle at you. And I thought it would be better to do a live than record a waffle of like, this is what's going on, which is just waffle and do nothing. So I thought, you know what, let's do some patterns because I can do that. Mim says, hi, hope you're feeling better. Greetings from Frankfurt. Good afternoon. I'm feeling fine. It does hurt. They both hurt. My legs don't hurt, thank God. They are totally fine for those. They're just bruised and scratched and they'll go down. It'll be, you know, it won't be forever. But this hurts. And that's why I'm keeping my hand up, because if I put my hand down, it starts throbbing. But I refuse to wear the sling that they gave me. Because it was only just to keep my hand up, so that's fine. Catherine says, ice your hand, that might help the pain. Yes, I have been using Mum's cold gel scarves that she has for when she comes back from walks. We have 3 of those, and they've been on firm rotation through the fridge and on my hand to try and keep the swelling down. I did the first couple of days have it wrapped in a cool cloth constantly as well. So yeah. Laurie says, good morning from Miami. Good morning, Laurie. Mel says, hi, Kate. This is my first time. Hello. Hopefully you're on the mend. I am, Mel. I am. Right, 8972. I have made 14 of this dress in scuba fabrics. I have not once made it in a woven, which is what it is intended for. Although, hang on, jacquard, crepe, and ponte knit. So also lace, unsuitable for obvious diagonals. I really want to make this in a woven. I think it's going to look amazing in a woven. I would not do the longer sleeves because I do full wrist length sleeves now, but the first one I did these kind of like elbow length sleeves. I don't like those tighter sleeves on me in a woven, so I would do the little cap sleeves or sleeveless. But again, this would be great for color blocking. And I also like this one where they've done the midriff panel in a dark color, obviously black for this one, but you know, if you do it in a dark color, and then if you think about it, it's again going to be a very slimming option over this kind of area. It's just hand up, it's just one of those optical illusions that if you put like dark in this area, it just brings everything further in. It's like this cardigan's a really kind of, it's skimming in the right place to again just emphasize or de-emphasize, I don't know which is the right word, but to kind of like, you know, sort of highlight the area that I personally think I am their slimmest at, although it's all expanding at the moment. Jennifer says, soaking in warm Epsom salts bath will take out the soreness. I have not tried a bath yet. I had a shower this morning, which was very, very nice. Yeah, I haven't tried an Epsom salts bath, and I do have some, so I might give that a try. Next up, we have Vogue 9328, which was a gift from Lorianne. I love this. It's got a surprise keyhole at the back. The way they want you to finish this is ridiculous, though. They want you to line the bodice, but then you are supposed to finish the circular keyhole at the back with bias binding, which you can do, and you can do well, but it's really finicky. So I am going to just line it. I am going to bag it out. But I love this, and you will be seeing this fairly soon, because this is one of the ones that I have been obsessing over for the last year, and I want to do this with one of my Pirate Capsule collection fabrics. I particularly like the big Bishopy sleeves and the knee length, because I do like the maxi length, but with the sleeves as well, I feel that this is a little bit, again, kind of goes a bit evening gown. So I'm going to do the kind of just below the knee version for this one, and I think it's gorgeous, so I'm looking forward to that one. Let's see. Karen says, sorry to hear you're not feeling well, sending you a big virtual hug. Thank you. Rachel Lynn says, as a sew along for this one, I'm happy to do this as a sew along. I'm not when I put up a vote, like I say, when I put up a vote on Patreon for what types of garments people wanted to see, dresses got 0 votes. So I think what I might do, because there's a few dresses that are coming up in these next piles that I really want to make really quickly, so I think I might just do them anyway as sew-alongs, and we'll yeah, we'll see, we'll see. But yes, no, I'm very happy to do a sew along for this one. Um, even if it's not like a full sew along, because I think the dress itself is really simple, but the instructions for lining the bodice on this are daft. So I think what I would do is I would do at the very least, a how I line this bodice, because I know you guys want some how I line my shirt dresses as well. So I will be getting to those as well. And I will do a full sew along for the McCall's 6891 shirt dress, because loads of you guys have asked for that. But for just lining a bodice on anything, I will show you guys how I do it on one, and then I can refer back to it if I, because the principle's the same. You just apply it to different pattern pieces. So next we've got 9265. Really like this one. Velveteen Ponte Knit Sateen. It's for slightly heavier weight fabrics, which I can kind of understand, but I think what I might do is interline one of my viscoses for the bodice pieces, and then do the rest of it as drapey fabric, because I think the sleeves and the skirt in a drapey viscose will look stunning, but you need a bit more structure for the bodice on this dress. But I like this one a lot, and again, it's one of the ones that I've been banging on about wanting to make, as is this one, 9076. There's definitely a sew along coming for this. I'm going to be making this version here, the longer one here, and I'm trying to work out how I can French seam the slit down the center front and the center front seam, so that I don't have to use bias binding on those raw edges. But I think I found a way of doing it, so I'm just going to test it out and make sure it works. But yes, I love this one, and it supposedly takes, you see, takes 3 meters of fabric if it's 150 wide. So I'm really hoping, and it's right at the bottom of the pile, so I'm not going to show you, but I'm really hoping that I'll be able to do this with one of my navy viscoses from my Pirate Capsule collection, because I love this dress and I love that fabric. But I probably will do it in a slightly less precious one first, just to make sure. And then the final one that I am so in love with is the 9327. Again, it was a present from Lorianne. I want to do this version here with the splits up the sleeves. I think this is stunning. I'm not sure how appropriate it's going to be for autumn winter, but yeah, I really love this one. Really love this one. Suzanne says, is there a sew along for the outfit you're wearing? I need it badly. Yes, there is indeed. Beach pajamas, Now and Then beach pajamas, 3-part series. If you go onto my homepage of my YouTube channel, and in the little search bar put beach pajamas, there is a sew along for it, and I teach you how to French seam everything, finish it all off really nicely. The lady that owns Now and Then is called Andre, and she gave me the pattern, and she gave me the fabric at wholesale price to feature in the sew along. And when I saw her at the next show afterwards, she was like, oh gosh, you made it so difficult. You French seamed everything. Because for her, she just overlocks everything. And I was like, I'm just obsessed with French seams. And she was like, oh no, it's beautiful. It's just so much work. It's like, not really. But yes, there is a sew along for this, Suzanne. Ange says, I put away printed velvet for that one. I think you mean for this one. I think in the magazine, they had done a printed velvet version of this one. And Ange says, I've made the 9327 in a check printed Ponte. Cute. Cut all the panels on the bias and managed to chevron the front. Very effective. Ooh, that sounds awesome. That sounds really, really cool. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, you're giving me ideas. But I got rid of 0 patterns there. I'm not sure if I should try and pick all of them up at the same time. I can do it. I just can't then maneuver them so that I can put them into the thing by themselves. Mim says, love your outfit, Sian, suits you very well. Thank you. Also, when I was getting dressed this morning, it was like, let's put something on that doesn't have buttons, because I can't do them up. Oh, it's just started bucketing it down. Hopefully they're not getting rained on too badly when they're out on their walk. So I think that's all the Vogue dress patterns I have. I think we're into McCall's now. We are indeed into McCall's. I'm going to get a few more out of the next cubby hole. Okay. turn them around this way because that's how they came out. Oh, let's see. Margaret says, finally up to see. So glad. Happy to see. Sorry about the cat in your hand. Thank you, Margaret. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Busy Bee says, hello there. Nice impromptu moment. Cats will be cats, won't they indeed? Yes, and I do know better. If she hadn't been trying to throw herself out of a window, I wouldn't have tried to catch her. I wouldn't, because she is a tiny little grey ball of hate when she's like that. And yeah, she'd done the whole kind of like fluff everything up, turn on her back, all 5, you know, mouth and all 4 paws. So all 5 weapons were out and employed. That's how she's done so much damage. Rachel Lynn says, I can't see you getting rid of many dress patterns unless they have grown on sleeves. Yeah. And basically, I knew there was a lot more in these sections that I was willing to get rid of. I think from here up, we are going to have some issues because there will be patterns in here that I'm not so keen on, but they are they are the indie patterns that I just want to keep. So yeah, but then I have got rid of quite a few and created more space, which is what I want to do. I just want to kind of go through this one and kind of like just space everything out a little bit more, because you know, these ones here are so squished in that nothing else is going to fit. So this is kind of the point of this exercise. And also I need to go through and put right on the sides of all the blue cards, because I've only written on one side of the blue cards, and I need to go through and write on the other sides of the blue cards so that I can see it easily from both sides. So, you know, this is a little bit redundant, this bit, because there's probably very few patterns I'm going to get rid of, but it's nice to remind myself what I've got as well. Nikki says, if I try to do a cull of anything, I always end up with more than I started with. Lol. Yeah, I counted. I've got 18 that I want to get from Something Delightful. Like I say, I missed out on the Labour Day sale because of Cheese Vet Bill, but I am going to save up for the Black Friday sales. And hopefully there will be some more releases from McCall's, Butterick and Vogue in the interim. So we'll see. Right, first we've got McCall's 7537. As you guys know, I absolutely love this dress. I have only made, okay, so I've made the one with the longer sleeves, but this kind of bodice. And I tried doing a colour blocked one with these little sleeve doodads, and I really hated how it looked on me. So I've decided that this for me is a sleeved dress. I won't do these ones. I won't do these ones because I don't like how restrictive I find them. So it's always going to be the bishopy sleeves, which I put on everything. I love these sleeves. And I would like to try doing some colour blocking again. I think I just need to be a bit more thoughtful about what I do with it. So love this one, is staying. I want to try one with the ruffles as well. I really like the ruffles. I think this is very Zimmerman-esque. And as you know, they're one of my favourite designers, so I love that. Next we have McCall's 8035 Bryn. I like this version a lot. I do like this version, but that little ruffly peplum at the waist kind of cuts me off in a place that I think wouldn't be flattering on me. Oh, that's a bad word. Wouldn't make me feel comfortable. There we go. So yeah, I really like this one, and this is the one I want to try making. Rachel Lynn says, but it's fun to see the patterns. Yeah, I'm glad you think so. Sal says, g'day Shiner Peeps, glad to see you survived the catastrophe. Just about, Sal, just about. Right, we've got McCall's 7894. Again, I think this is very Zimmerman-esque. It wouldn't surprise me to see this dress on the Zimmerman website. I'm not usually one for asymmetric ruffles, but I like this a lot. I do like this a lot. I probably would make this version without the ruffles, but I might try the ruffles, but I would definitely make the one with the bishopy sleeves. So that's staying. This one I love. I love this one a lot. So I like View B, which is what she's wearing, although I wouldn't wear it in the satin like that. And this has actually got quite a low back on it, so I would adjust the height of the zipper. The zip goes to the bottom of the midriff and then leaves the entirety of the back open, so it wouldn't be difficult just to bring the zipper up, so it just covered my bra. But I love this one. This is gorgeous. I wouldn't make this one because of the bra wearing solutions, and I don't like the puffed sleeves above the elbow. I'd want the puffed sleeves at the bottom, and I like the fact that this has got cuffs on it, so that one's staying. Gosh, there's 105 of us. Wow. so glad that you guys could all join me. It's really, really fun to be doing this because I'm missing being in this room. Poor Big Bird's brought all of her machines down with her to do all this, sloper making class, and I'm just useless. So, yes, yes. Right, we've got 8176 from McCall's Jessica. Again, I like this one on her, but I would not make that skirt. But I love these two. Again, I would probably lengthen those sleeves and bring them sort of like past mid forearm. I don't mind at all, or wrist length. But I don't want the puff to stop over here. I want it to stop on this part of my arm. So I really like that. The sleeve looks way poofier on this illustration than it actually does in real life. So it'd be interesting to try that sleeve. But yes, that one. Then we've got McCall's 7973. I think loads of people have made this one. I think I kind of like passed it over, but I actually, when I really looked at the line drawings, View C, I really, really like. And again, it's got some interesting details on this. So I would like to give this one a try. Let's see, where did I get to with the chat? Nikki says, I picked my Radley Floofy Overlord up knowing he does not like being held, and he kindly rearranged my face for me. My fault completely. I should know better. I've had cats for over 30 years. Oh gosh, Nikki. Yeah, that's one thing that Mum's really worried about, is that she's going to go for my face. But I know better than to try and pick her up. I was trying to pin her to the bed to just calm her down. So I wasn't trying to pick, because at one point I was trying to pick her up to bring her to my body, but that would just been like a nightmare. So I literally was just trying to pin her to the bed. So yeah, you poor thing. It's like one of those things, we know better, but then every now and again something happens in the moment and you're just like, oh yes, and then you're like, oh, why did I do this? Karen's here. Good morning, Shining Peeps. Hello, Karen. How are you, my lovely? Sal says, I felt just as useless when I had my inflamed tendon in my thumb. I have never felt this useless before. Index finger in this hand and thumb in this hand, and I can't do anything. I'm supposed to be cooking dinner this evening. I shall be directing dinner being cooked. We're making fessenjoon, which is a Persian dish that I've been wanting to make for a very long time. So I've got an excuse. We've got a lot of people over. So big hearty stew, chicken stew, basically. Nikki says make that 40 years. You think we'd know better, wouldn't you? Next, we've got 8167, which is Martina. It's actually a re-released pattern. They've had this one out for ages. I featured this in a Get the Look for Less video as a Pizza Paletti dress, and it had a ruffle on the bottom, and then it had channeling at the waist for 3 draw cords so that you could cinch it in at the waist. And I want to put my money where my mouth is and give it a try, because I think with either a belt worn with this or the waist cinching and the ruffle on the bottom, I think this could be very me. So that one's staying. McCall's 8175, Vanessa. Again, I featured this in a Get Look for Less for the Zimmerman one. I think this could be very Zimmerman-esque with the cutouts. I really want to give this a try, but not until next summer now. And then we've got 7951, which is actually basically a backless dress. I like this a lot, but I would use it as like a pinafore dress. I would make it up with a little bit of extra ease in it so that I could wear either jumpers or shirts underneath of it. And then I would be very, very happy with it. I do really like that back there. There are other back options, which are like, it's like a bra option at the back, and then that, so that technically you could try and wear a bra with that one, but I would make that back option and I would make it the plain skirt without the ruffle on the bottom, and then I would use it as like a pinafore dress. So there's that one. Again, staying. This one could possibly go. This is 7954. It's one of their like Hackett patterns, the Create patterns. So you get like a bra option, a midriff option, and then you can eat different skirt lengths. Because again, it's got that little cutout underneath the bust, so I'd have to like build a bra into this. But I think that can go on the maybe pile. we go. We've got one on the maybe pile. Doing well. Gay says, glad to see you're okay. At least you are making the most of your time off. Yes. I mean, it couldn't have happened at a better time because my family is here to visit. So I wouldn't have been working as much as I usually would anyway. Enforced time off is not ideal, but you know what? It's what it is. So yeah. Next, we've got 6741. It's a really basic princess theme dress that you can either, I was thinking about using my other parrot panels from the linen for this because I could have the parrot down the middle without any option of a waistband, which might be better. So yeah, I like this one. That one can stay. Let's see. Margaret says, sorry, forgot to let you know where I'm from. Farmland, Minnesota. Love your vlogs. Thank you very much and good morning, Margaret. Right, now this one, you guys might be able to persuade me to get rid of this one. It's McCall's 7747. It's cold shoulder. I do like it, but I think I have nicer patterns in the stash that we've come across already, haven't I? I'm not like, I'm not super excited about this one. I probably would overlook this one to pick one of my other patterns. So I think this can go in the maybe pile as well. There you go. I didn't even have to have you persuade me, talk me into it. And then this is McCall's 7802. The very lovely Nancy enabled this one. I actually really like this one. And again, quite good for color blocking options on this one. So I like the bishopy sleeves. I like the different necklines. I like the different skirt options. So this one's staying. Rachel Lynn says, no, get rid of it. And Sal says, at least you're not as useless as the Rock's bodyguards. True. Right, okay, so I'm going to put these ones back and then we can get another cubby hole out. The doctor did say to keep moving everything around as well, so this is helping, being able to do this. So I can move my thumb like that. It's just putting any pressure on it, but nothing's broken this time. Last time it happened, I couldn't move my hand. So that's why I got admitted to the hospitals. Let's see. Mel says, oops, I just realized your name is Shan. I thought it was Kate. Sorry, that's fine. No worries. And Catherine says, and here I sit watching you waffle on patterns and shopping on eBay for vintage patterns with coffee. Lovely. That sounds like a great time, Catherine. I have to be so restrained on Etsy and eBay for patterns. I kind of get my vicarious thrill through Angela Clayton. Have you guys followed her new channel, Counted and Curated? Because she started buying lots of vintage patterns and then selling them individually on Etsy. And she finds it therapeutic to sit and do all the kind of like counting of the patterns and that kind of stuff. She finds it like a really relaxing time to do. So I really enjoy watching the haul videos and like going through and having a look and seeing what she's got. And I will occasionally take a screenshot of some patterns that I really like that aren't in my size, just so that I can reference it back when hopefully I've made some slopers and I can possibly make something similar for myself. But I find that I still get the thrill of pattern hunting, but without the cost of pattern hunting if I watch her videos. Kim says, no, get rid of it. Natalie says, what's happened? What day is this? Working from home. This makes me confused. Yes, it's an impromptu hangout, Natalie. I'm glad you could join us. Thank you. And it was just because I haven't been able to do any sewing or filming this week because of my my cat injury. So it looks like a human bit me on that one, doesn't it? Yeah. Dee says, good morning. What a nice surprise. Good morning, Dee. Mel says, I think it's wonderful that you're even attempting a cull. If I attempted this, it would be 4 hours long and not get rid of any. 2 so far. I wasn't expecting to get rid of many in this particular section, though. So this next one is McCall's 7898. It's another cold shoulder dress, but this one I should be able to wear a bra with. I really like this. I would not put on the ruffle at the waist. I'd probably make it, pin it on, have a look and decide that it wasn't to my taste. But I really like this dress. And again, this is very Zimmerman-esque, so that one's staying. Julie says, whose sloper are you making? I have the Susie Farah classes from Craftsy, and so they literally give you a worksheet and you draft it completely yourself from scratch. And then she does all the classes for, I've got the classes for the sleeve, bodice, skirt, and trouser slopers, and then I've also got the classes for the neckline modifications, sleeve modifications, all the different mods that Susie Farah has done. So her entire class range on Craftsy I have, and that's why I'm using hers. Bianca from the Closet Historian made a really good point that there are fitting slopers from McCall's, Butterick, and Vogue, and you can start with one of those and get a brilliantly fitting sloper from them. I'm just going the Craftsy route because I've already bought and paid for all those classes, so I want to use them rather than try and attempt something else. I'm going to try and do it that way. So that's the ones that I'm using. Catherine says, I watch Viv Mum Sews and then end up hunting for quick sew patterns. Yeah, I can imagine. She always makes them look so good, doesn't she? Right, next we've got 7624, which it was a present from Tracy B in the KB pattern swap. This is kind of like the slightly more modest version of the Vogue dress that everyone went nuts for. I love this. Yes, these two have grown on sleeves, but this one has set-in sleeves here. This one here has set-in sleeves, and they are roughly bishop sleeves with the little cutouts on the top of the shoulders, but I could still wear a bra with this. So this one is staying, and I would like to make this one soon. And says, Susie is amazing. I have the full set too. Use the moulage one, is great. Came in handy for the wedding dress. Yeah, that's what we're starting with, is we'll draft the moulages, then we have to make those up to make sure they fit right, and then you add the ease to get the sloper, is my understanding. I haven't watched the class in a long time. I've watched the class through twice. I got as far as drafting the paper pattern, and I never got around to making up the roulage, and my body has changed massively since then, so I'm going to try it again. Next, we've got a Nicole Miller 7503. Again, this was a present from Tracy B. This is a really simple dress. It's got Dior darts and princess seams on it. V-neck front and back. I really like this. I think it's really simple. Given where the darts and how the darts all match up, you could have some fun with color blocking, at least on the front. They're princess seams on the front and then darts on the back, so you might need to try and just finagle if you wanted to color block the sides on the front and back, the darts, but I really like that one, so that one's staying. This is a Melissa Watson 6834. There is a ton of seaming in this. A ton of seaming, lots and lots of seaming, but I think that could be really flattering, and I really like the little sleeved option there. I would probably do that one. I think that's nice, and again, you could have fun with some color blocking on this, so that's staying. McCall's 6740. I have finally made this up. I've had this pattern for a very long time, and I've been getting in, like, I must make it, and then never quite getting around to it because it needs a full bust adjustment. Well, I've done it, and it needs hemming. Let's see if I can hold this one up. Oh, yeah, it's under my goldfish dress. Oof, ouch. So it needs hemming, but I love this. And I changed the sleeve options on this one because the strap options on this one, they were supposed to just both cross at the back, but I've made it so one strap is where my bra straps are, and then the other strap crosses at the back. I also think this is going to be a great starting place to make a copy of the Trashy Diva Hollywood dress, because it's the same kind of bodice, but it's a zip back. So I'd eliminate the front button placket. I'd add a ruffle around the top, and I put in a waist seam and then circle skirt on it. And I think now I've got this to fit, I think this is going to be a really versatile pattern in my wardrobe, so that's staying. Kim says that she loves the 7503. Yes. Have you made it up, Kim? I need to try that one. Catherine says, my younger daughter has me sewing a dark academia wardrobe. Ooh, nice. And Rachel Lynn says, I like that 6834. I now need it. 68. This one. Yeah, it's pretty, isn't it? I think there's a new Vogue one which has got giant sleeves on it, and it's a little bit 80s tastic in the sample that they've made up, but it has all that paneling on it as well. So that is in my I'm going to buy this list. It's going to be interesting to see if I ever make that one. So we've got some more McCalls. 5094. I like this. It's a really simple little summer dress with different bust options, and they all the ones with the cups, these ones have a tie back option, and then the midriff thing goes up. So again, slightly more difficult to wear these ones with a bra, but it would be interesting to see if you could finagle this front if you wanted those cups with the backs from these ones. But I think this is really pretty, so that's staying. 7945, love this, made this, have a sew along for this. I'm making another one out of my Savannah viscose that I got. It is a fabric hungry beast. View C, which is what I've made, this one here, the yellow one, for a 150 wide fabric, it does take 5.1 meters of fabric. If you've only got 115 wide, it takes 7 meters of fabric. So it is a fabric hungry beast. But during the really hot summer days that we've had, it's been this beach pajamas and that dress have been a godsend to wear. So yeah, keeping that one. 7946, it's a learn to sew McCall's pattern for a sheared bodice dress. I think Rachel's made this from Stitched Up, and I bought it after seeing her one made up. I like this. I want to give it a try. I don't think they've done the girl on the cover any favors with the one that they've made her wear. You can totally see her underwear. I do want to make this one, so this one's going to stay. Not doing very well at getting rid of these, am I? Mim says, I'm trying to make the Butterick 6018 in jersey with a short full circle skirt. Could be something you make out of scuba as well. 6018. Oh yeah, that could work in a scuba. That would be nice. Yeah. 6018. Let's just make sure I'm talking about the same pattern that you're talking about. Yeah. 6018. Yeah, that in a scuba could be amazing. Definitely. Let me know how you get on. Let's see. Rachel Lynn says, I'll be back. Please say that in a Terminator voice. Terrible Arnie impression, but I tried. Kim says, sorry, not got distracted by the red arrows. Not made it yet, but it's moving up the list. Nice. Myra's here. Hi, Myra. How are you, my lovely? And Mel says, I never had success with shearing. Need more practice. Me either. I bought all the shearing elastic, and I kind of have chickened out of it this summer, so I need some practice as well. Right, next is 7952. It's another one that I featured in the Get Look for Less videos. You could definitely make a Dolce & Gabbana inspired dress with this one. It does have a low back and a button-up back. I'm not sure how comfortable that would be to sit on, but I would, again, make it up as is and use this as a pinafore dress to be layered over shirts and jumpers. So I'm keeping that one. This one I've had for ages, McCall's 7500, and I don't think any of these have done any of the samples any justice. This has got really nice pin tucks in the bodice. There's some ruching in the bodice here, ruffles. I think if you made this in the right fabric, it could be quite beautiful. I think this is the most successful one of the lot. I probably would put on long bishop sleeves rather than the flouts at the bottom of the sleeves, because again, they would annoy me and get in everything. But I'm keeping this one, and I would like to make this one up fairly soon. Let's see, where did I get to? Jessie says, McCall's 7946 looked like a maternity dress on me. Have I still got that one here? 7946, 7945. This one. let me know. I mean, that would actually make a really great maternity dress, but it's not what you're going for if you're not pregnant and don't need a maternity dress. I had to make it with, it's the same with this one. I've got the kind of like cinch it in at the waist, and I liked it because it was, I didn't have to cinch it completely in when it was boiling, but when it was when it wasn't super boiling, I put like, I really defined my waist in it. Right, so next we've got 7992, which is a Laura Ashley, which actually you can only get in US, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, not available in the UK, which I think is daft because Laura Ashley is a UK-based company. But obviously this one I have bought from America and had it sent over. I really like the version that the lady's wearing. I think it's, again, a really sweet dress. I'd probably make it, well, I would make it longer. I would make the longer sleeves. I'd probably do it without the ruffle. I might do some shearing around the cuffs of these ones. I think this could be a really pretty dress. So that one's staying. Myra says, hello, Sean, I'm doing well. And you? Happy I caught you alive. I'm good, thank you. I'm convalescing from war wounds with my cat, but I am fine. Let's see, we've got another McCall 7954, which is one of the ones that I put to the side earlier. Are they at least both size ranges? So, you know, at least there's that. I wasn't just buying the same pattern over and over again. But I do think I've got that Gertie one with the little cutout in it, so I think I need to put that to the side. I don't think it's going to be one that I keep. Next, we've got 7971. I've done this and I've made a sew along for it. I love this dress. I think it's gorgeous. It has a little cutout at the lower back, and then it has hooks and eyes to keep the back portion closed, which don't work. So I am going to go back in. I'm going to make some real low loops, and I'm going to make it a button-up back. And I think it's going to look gorgeous. So I really like this one, and there is a sew along for this one. Sal says, I'm working on a man's fashion piece, a handlebar moustache, currently about 4 inches long on both sides. Nice. Dusty says, the shearing one. Oh, right. That's the one that looked like a maternity dress on you. Right. Okay. Deb says, didn't Laura Ashley close for good at the start of lockdown? I think they have. Yeah. Are they online only now? I'm not 100% sure, Debs. Deanna says, morning, Sean. What a lovely surprise from Ohio. Good morning, Deanna. Yes, and then my final one from this one is 7972. Again, really like this one. It's another Laura Ashley one. I really like all the little ruffles on this. I think that's really nice. I would make the longer skirt. I like this as well. I think this is a really pretty dress. It would be really easy to make these tiny little short puff sleeves into long bishop sleeves, which is what I would do because I don't like that sleeve length on me, especially puffed like that. But I like this a lot, so that one's staying. So I've got rid of 3 so far. Still more McCalls to go, I think, though. Oh no, we're into Butterick now. Okay. So we've got some Butterick patterns now. This one I think is really 40s. 6320 for Butterick. The dress, I think the dress is really 40s-esque. I do like the jumpsuit, but it would be the dress that I would make from this. And again, great for color blocking options. There's some really interesting little pieces in this. Let's see. Yeah, really interesting pattern pieces. So I think color blocking on that would be great. And that's why this is in my dress stash, because it would be, I would want to make it as a dress. We've got Butterick 5951, which was a gift from Tracy B. I have made this twice. I love this. I've made this version here with the fuller skirt on it. So this skirt from C, but the bodice from the picture. And I haven't made this sleeveless one yet, but it's not, I'm not ruling it out because I very much like the bodice of this. So that's staying. This is from my pattern swap with Elizabeth. I think this is gorgeous. I think I'd need to be really careful about how what fabric I picked for it. It would be View B that I would make with the, I'm not a fan of asymmetric skirts. I love the sleeves on View B. I think she looks beautiful in it. I think with a different belt cinching at the waist, not a sash, it could be really, really pretty. And I love the neckline on this, so that's staying. This is a Butterick 6164, which came with Love Sewing. I'm not overly sure about this one. I think it's a really pretty dress. I think the neckline is interesting. I don't know. What do you guys think? That's on the maybe pile. This one, 6129, I actually bought to make a dress for a customer, a prom dress, and she wanted off the shoulder like this, and then she wanted actually long lycra sleeves. It was a black silk dupioni dress. It was a mini version, and she looked amazing in it. It's not the... I wouldn't make the A or B. I would make C and D, the one with the kind of the band going around the neckline. And I probably would see if I could leave the sleeves off completely, so there was a bit more mobility in this one. But yeah, I think I'm going to keep that one. Let's see, where did I get to? Anne says, oh, I'm plotting a D&G-esque white background, big orchids, multicolored floral printed canvas from the McCall's 8091 sheath sundress. Very nice. Mim says, I closed the back, no hooks and eyes, only cut out the back, worked very well. Oh yeah, you could cut, yeah, you don't even need to necessarily put a back in there because the neckline is so big, isn't it, that you could get your head in and out of it. It's a very good point, Mim. That was for the McCall's 7971. Debbie says, Laura Ashley did close, but the name was bought out. Next, sell some of Laura Ashley Home Furnishings. Thank you. Good knowledge, Debbie. Jacqueline says, good morning, Sean and everyone from Minnesota. Have my first day off work in 2 weeks and plan to sew some PJs for myself. How lovely. Enjoy your day off. Right, we've got Butterick 5884. Now, I bought this one for this version with the kind of batwing sleeve option because I have some Dior silk that, in all honesty, the fabric that they've used here reminds me of that Dior silk. I don't like the skirt option on this. I would put a different skirt on, but I really like this bodice and I want to give it a try, but I'm not going to try it in the Dior silk. I'm going to try it and then see if I like it. And if I do make it in maybe the Dior silk, although I've kind of come to the realization for the Dior silks, I think I would get more wear out of circle skirts. So I'm thinking that's probably what will end up happening. This was again from Tracy B in my pattern swap. It is 5930. I love this. I really like that collar detail. I think it's gorgeous. View A especially, I love with the white collar over the pinstripe fabric that they've illustrated. I can't understand. Oh, moved my thumb and that was a mistake. I can't understand why they have not put a contrast collar on this one here. Like a black collar on that made up one would look gorgeous. But this is definitely staying. I think it's beautiful. I think it's really, really beautiful. And it turns out the it's actually a little dicky, so interchangeable dicky that you can put underneath this, like they've done here. So that you could definitely have some fun with that being interchangeable as well. So I like that. This is also from Tracy B. It's a Connie Crawford. It is 5761. It's very much like the polka dot dress, the 6470. But it's like what I wanted to make out of it. So it is a zip up dress at the so you know, no buttons at the front. Again, this is a really nice one, and it was one that Tracy put into my stash for me, which was very sweet of her. My KB pattern swap partner that time. Then we've got Butterick 5710. It's a copy of the Pippa Middleton bridesmaid's dress. I am never going to make the entire dress, but I do love the bodice of this very, very much. And I have some red velvet and then some red silk embroidered dupioni that I want to try and make a mashup of a dress with. And I was going to use the bodice from this, but How to Do Fashion have also got a very similar bodice, which is already got the waistline and stuff marked in on it. So I like this. This one's staying, but I probably won't ever make that one up. Now we're into my Gertie patterns. So 6380, as you know, I've got about 6 of these now. Love this. Love this so much. Keeping this. Yeah. And Mel says 5930, stunning. I'm going on the hunt for that one. Isn't it lovely? I think that's a really, really nice one. It was one of the celebrating 150 years of their company. So it's kind of got some vintage leaning look to it, but yeah, nice. Oh, let's see. Where do we get to? Hand up. Ow. Rachel Lynn says, oh, to the red velvet and red silk. Yeah, I've been wanting to make that dress for a very long time. Both fabrics were, one was bought from India, one was bought from Saudi Arabia, so I cannot get more of any of the exact same fabrics. And I have a limited amount of both of them. And I know I want a long full skirt out of the red silk. So it's going to be interesting trying to get it to work the way I want it to. But it's a very specific pattern that I have in my head, so it's why it's not been made up yet, because I've quite a few times I've been tempted to do it for part of the Little Red Dress project, but those fabrics are precious to me, so I need it to be the right dress. Myra says, love the Butterick 5710, also love what you're wearing too, thank you. It's beach pajamas and the 5710, yeah, isn't it stunning? It is beautiful. I mean, maybe one day I will try and make this as a gown. We went to a 1920s event the other night. I probably could have gotten away with the floor length one. It was 1920s-esque. But yeah, it's the cowl neck, particularly on that one, that I love. Catherine says, Butterick 99 cents, Vogue 5.99, September 9th through to the 12th. Is that in Joanne's? Right, we've got Butterick 6483. It's Gertie's Asian inspired dress. I have actually made this as a wedding dress for a customer. She was marrying, her fiance was Chinese, so she had it in a beautiful red patterned fabric that I had to pattern match, and I did a fantastic job, if I say so myself. It ended up being an upholstery fabric she got from fabric.com, but she loved the pattern of it so much, so we made it work. We lined it in soft cotton lawn and it looked beautiful on her. I haven't made this one for myself. I'm not sure that I will, but it is a very, very pretty dress. Then we've got Butterick 6412. I got this from Love Sewing. I haven't made this one, but Mum has. Mum decided that she didn't like how it looked. She made it from the white Cobra Corsage cotton lawn, and she decided she didn't like how it looked on her, so she ended up donating the dress, which I was a little bit sad about, because it was a very full skirt, so I could have salvaged it for parts. But no, it was a beautifully made dress, so it was right for somebody else to have it. I need to try making this one because I do like it. And Julie says, yes, Joanne's headed there this morning with my list of 13 patterns. Very nice. We've got another Gertie 6590. This was a present from Lorianne. I think that's gorgeous. I really like that. I like that keyhole. I think that's quite a sexy look. So it does have grown on sleeves. So I would make the shorter version. It would not make the one that Gertie is wearing. And I probably would shorten the sleeves, because the line drawing makes them appear longer on the back than it does on the front. But I'm going to keep that one. This is a very simple Gertie 6094. It's got a midriff panel, so again, color blocking for this one. And then the fun part is the back, where you fold you line it in something interesting and you fold it back and button it down. I'm covering. Keep forgetting my thumb is not usable. She's got the picture there. I think that's really nice. Let's see. Where did we get to? Debbie says, I remember your mum wearing that Gertie dress at the retreat. It was beautiful, wasn't it? It was lovely. And she really didn't like how she looked. She said she felt like a dumpling in it. So it got donated. Maverick says, something delightful has the 5930 as digital only. Good knowledge. I wonder if it will come back into print or if it's going to stay as digital only. Deb says, thanks for the info, Laura, Ashley, Debbie. I've got another Gertie. It's 6556. This is very similar to the night and day dress. It just had a little notch in the front and doesn't have as many different options for the skirts and things. It's gorgeous. I used this as the basis of my dressmaker's ball dress for the last one that I went to, and it's staying. This one I really want to make fairly soon. It's the 6352, the Dirndl looking dress. I think it's really, really pretty. And I like the puff sleeves and the ruffle on this one. So yeah, like that. Catherine says, I really don't like digital. Yeah, I always prefer paper patterns if I can get them. And then we've got 6322, again, part of my pattern swap with Tracy B. And I really like this one. I've seen this made up and it looks really, really lovely. So once I'd seen a few made up, I was just like, ah, yes, I need that. So yeah. Sal says, it was Father's Day recently here in Australia, and my kids got me a $50 fabric card for Spotlight. When lockdown is over, I'm going to feel and spend. Oh, how lovely of them, and happy Father's Day to you. Deb says, can you tell us where you'll donate your handmade clothes to, please? My charity shops send them to recycling, as they say cannot sell them without the labels on. I take them to the local British Red Cross, and I did ask about that because I had heard that anything without a label would be immediately just sent to recycling. So I know the lady that manages the local shop, and she said, nope, that's nonsense. And she's very happy to sell them. So I do take them down to the British Red Cross and also the RSPCA. And I've checked with both of them, and they are happy to sell things without labels in them. But yes, I had heard that too. So I double checked before I took them there, because that was the last thing that I wanted, was for them to end up in landfill or recycling. Catherine says, yes, Joanne's is the ones that are having a sale. Noelia says, that's lovely, Sal. There's nothing like being able to feel the fabrics. Definitely. Definitely. Right, so let's put these ones back. Right, so how am I going to do this? I have to just rejig a little bit, I think. Although I didn't want to stuff. No, okay. So I'm going to put these ones into their own cubby hole, and we'll see how we get on with these next ones. So we've got some new look coming now. Also, for any UK-based peeps, and I appreciate that this may not be something that people feel comfortable doing, but I'm going to be in London on the 18th of September, and I was going to see how people felt about a Goldhawk Road meetup to go and actually touch some fabric in real life again in person and see each other in person, because it's been 2 years since we've done a Goldhawk Road meetup. I appreciate with everything that's going on and traveling and stuff that might not be something that everyone wants to do, which is totally fine. But yeah, so I'm going to put it up in the Peeps on the Peeps Facebook group as well. Right, first new look is 6635, which was the lovely Nancy enabled, and I really like that. I think it's really interesting, the different seaming details in it. Very unlike me, but yeah, I think that's a really pretty dress. So once I'd looked at the line drawings of that, if I'd have just looked at this one, I would have dismissed it, but the line drawings sold me on it, so I like that one. Let's see, where did I get to? Sal says to Noelia, I love the feeling of all the silks and satins. And says the Butterick 6412 is very gapey. Is that the one with the open back? Noelia says, same here, but I'm too scared to sew with them. You did a really good job with that really slippery viscose crepe from Lady Mackerel. I think you ended up refashioning it in the end because it really annoyed you and stretched all out of the place. But practicing with viscose is a good lead up to working with slippery silks. It's definitely the route that I'm going. Deb says, thanks. We'll ask the managers in future. Love your vlogs and lives, and so sorry for your feline injury. 1st September, 18th of September, may not make it, but if I will. Noelia says, love to, Sean, but I'm taking my son back to uni and he is at Warwick University. Maybe next time, unless you come to Ipswich. Natasha, my best friend, has invited me to go visit her in Ipswich. So, and there is a fabric shop that I think I could talk them into letting us go and touch the fabrics, Lily and Mimi. So possibly an Ipswich one isn't too out of the realms of possibility. But hopefully, if it works well for everybody, we may start doing some more Goldhawk Road meetups. I think you guys may know, but Wilson is buying a flat literally behind the Goldhawk Road. So I was only a 10-minute bus ride away from there, where he lives now. And at the end of this month, he is moving a 5-minute walk away. Well, not even that, like a 2-minute walk away. So, yeah. Rachel Lynn says, did you hear about the Costume Coalition putting out a Marvellous Miss Maisel pattern? It's very you. I haven't seen that yet. I shall have to investigate. Thank you for letting me know. I'm supposed to be getting rid of patterns. Right, next up we have the New Look 6594. This was totally enabled by Rachel from Stitched Up. She has made this one up and it looks gorgeous. Again, I think this is kind of like a very 1940s looking dress. I like it a lot. Some good color blocking options there if you wanted to. So that one's staying. This one was a present from the lovely Nancy. And again, it's a really basic but fun princess themed dress. And if you had a large print, there's no seam down the center front or at the waist on this, so it could work really well for that. I think they are back from their walk, so I really like this one. The gate is opening slowly. Then we've got New Look 6094. I'm not sure about this one. I do like it, and I do think it's a very pretty dress, but it is a drop waist dress, which is what's making me a little bit like, what was I thinking? I like it very much there, and if it had a waistband in it, I think that would be better. I think I'm going to put that on the not sure pile. Sal says, would love to, but money, distance, and pandemic makes it impossible to meet up. I mean, Sal, it is like a 26-hour flight away from you, so I kind of understand. But next time. Noelia says, I love viscose, but not the crepe one so much. I was told that I could have used spray starch, which I have bought and might try in the future with very slippery fabrics. Yeah, spray starch probably would be great. But you did a really good job with it, Noelia, given how much you were hating it. You actually finished it. So yeah. Deb says, drop waist not for you. I think I agree, Debs. It's on the maybe pile. So we're not doing too badly. We've got rid of like 5 technically, but 4 because 2 are the same pattern, just in the different size ranges. Noelia says, I'd be up for a Lily and Mimi shopping trip. I shall let you know when I go to Ipswich. It probably won't be for a while, but I shall let you know. We've got New Look 0722, which I think is a display number. It's a surplus bodice with a midriff panel on it. I like this. There's a very similar dress in one of Gertie's books, but I do really like this. I think it's very, very pretty, so I'm going to keep this one. Then we've got New Look 6497. I actually bought this to make a Mother of the Bride dress for a friend, and it didn't quite cover her inside the size range, but I like the front panel. Again, the purple one with this is very risque, but I like the fact that you could put in power mesh or lace or something into those, and I think this is a nice dress. So I'm going to keep this one. Then we've got New Look 6093. Was that the same as... No, it's not the same. Just similar-ish looking one. This is another one that I thought the seaming on this was really interesting and very kind of like 1930s-esque. I think this could be a really flattering dress, and I like how they've played with the bias and straight cut pieces on this gingham version down here. So yeah, I think that could be really interesting. The panels cut right from the top of the hip, so it's either going to be really flattering or awful. And this one came with Sewing Magazine. It's New Look 6410. It's an empire waisted dress, and I don't think this one's for me. I don't think there's enough definition at the waist on this one. And I have other empire waisted dresses like the 6018, for example, that I prefer more. So I think that one can go as well. Let's see. Carmen says, holy moly, good morning. Surprise. Good morning. Sarah says, this was a surprise on YouTube, having just got back from a dog walk. I'd be thinking about going to the Goldhawk Road, probably driving up. Awesome, Sarah. Sal says, flight time doesn't bother me. We just sleep through most of it and watch a few movies. Yeah, good plan. That's how I would cope with a flight that long as well. Deb says, love the diamond pattern dress by New Look. Yeah, I think it's a really pretty one. Catherine says, I sandwich my slippery silks in wax paper when I sew. Solves a lot of issues. That's a very good tip. Very good tip indeed. Yes, I'm going to put up the details of the meetup onto the Facebook Peeps group, Sarah. So if you're not a member, join the Peeps group, because that's where kind of like the announcements for that kind of thing happens. Just so that it's slightly more manageable, because we can get like a list of people who are like, yeah, we're coming, so that you know to wait for them if they're running a bit late and things. Right, we'll put these back. keep catching my thumb when I try and pick too many of them up. It's really silly. I shouldn't, should I? Noelia says, where do you get wax paper from, Catherine? I also tissue paper is one that I've heard of as well, like thin tissue paper, and that's one I tried and it worked really well. I tried it for hemming a knit to make sure that the hem didn't go wavy. Charlie says, love, lovely to see this. What a great surprise. Hi, Charlie. Thank you. Sarah says, thanks, I am a member of the Peeps group. That's awesome. And Catherine says, from the grocery store. Yeah. Like, freezer paper as well is something that I know a lot of quilters use. I can't see why that wouldn't work. Carmen says, wow, good tip on the wax paper. I might try that because slippery stuff terrifies me. Yes. Yes. And if you can't spray starch it because you can't wash it, then you need to make it behave in other ways. Right. Okay. We've got Simplicity 1913 and it came with Sew magazine. It's kind of similar to another one. Oh, maybe it's not. I've only got 3 of these Project Runway inspired ones. I do think I like this. Do I? I'm not sure. If I'm not sure, it needs to go in the not sure pile, doesn't it? Because I just, if I have so many patterns, it's no point in keeping all the ones that I'm not sure about. We've got Simplicity 1803. I really like this a lot. I like all the different bodice options. I actually have traced this out, and I traced it out when I was brand new to sewing this time around. And I think I traced it out at the size that they say on the envelope, not the size that the tissue paper says. So I need to go back and check that because it actually might fit me now, but at the time it would have been giant on me. But I like that one, that's staying. And then we've got 2588. This is the largest size bundle. But I really like this one. I've actually made this as a mother of the groom dress for a friend out of some aquarium or underwater looking fabric, and it was gorgeous. I do like this one, so that one's staying as well. We've got 8047. It's an amazing fit, simplicity princess theme dress with an overlay. I have another one with an overlay as well. I think that can go in the maybe pile. We've got Simplicity 2917, which came with Sew magazine. I love it for this dress, that one, that exact one there with those sleeves, which I would make longer. I do like the top version as well. I would be interested to see how that came out on me, again with the longer sleeves. So that one can stay. This was 8051, again with Sew magazine. I do like this, but the back is, as you can see in that little circular picture there, it's open, and then the other option is a cross back. And I just don't think I'd ever reach for this one over some of the other sort of sundresses that I have in my stash, so that one can go. This is a So Chic pattern, 8691. It was a present from Lorianne. I think it's beautiful. I think it's really, really beautiful. I definitely need to make this up. Probably in a slightly smaller scale print than they've used on both of those, but I really like the detailing on that. So that can stay. This is another So Chic pattern, 8167. Again, I think that's really, really pretty. I love the lace overlay on the one that they've shown on the model. I think it's gorgeous. That's staying. I have probably something that's very similar to that, but I like it a lot. This is enabled by Nancy. It's 9041. I really like that. Again, it would be the view that she is wearing with the bishopy sleeves. I think that's gorgeous. So that's staying. This one came with a sewing magazine, Sew magazine 8384. I think I'm actually going to part ways with this one. It's like a button-up bodice with an elasticated back. It's nice. It is nice, but I have other stuff that I would rather make before I ever made that one. So I just don't think it ever would get made up. This one was from Kay from Sunny Nunny, and it is 1606. Again, that's a really nice dress, and actually it's quite a basic. This might be a good one for me to try for the Vogue 9357 that I want to try a different bodice on. So I'm going to keep that one. This one Oh, I love this one, but I don't know about it. It's 8292. I think she looks stunning in that one that's made up on there. And I really like the View A, although I would make it with the full sleeves, not the cold shoulder sleeves like they've done. But again, it's an Empire line dress. And I think I have other dresses in my pattern stash that I prefer over this one. So I think that one's going to go as well. Let's see. Where did I get to? Noelia says, like greaseproof paper, it's a really good tip. I think, yeah, greaseproof paper is our equivalent, Noelia. Charlie says 1803 has much more defined waist. Sal says, when I made my Dracula cape, it was 5 meters by 2 meters of satin and stretch velvet. I used a ton of pins to keep it from slipping for the most part. Yes, all of the pins. Charlie says yes to the 8691. Let's see. Yeah, this one. Yeah, it's beautiful. And then what was the other one? The 1083. Oh, yes. The 1083 has much more defined than the other Simplicity one. Yeah, I think so too. And we're into some indie patterns now. So this is the Sewaholic Candy dress. I actually have tried to make this one up. I've seen so many people. This is one of the ones I bought like 7-8 years ago. And I've seen so many people make beautiful versions of this. But this Sewaholic patterns are drafted for a pear shape with a B cup. So they are much more roomy over the hips. That is the entire purpose of them. But they are drafted with a B cup. So I needed to add a full bust adjustment to this, and I ended up with 3 darts on either side of the bodice, so 6 in total. And it actually fit me quite well, but I'm not sure if I liked the look of this with all those darts in it. Having said that, this company no longer exists. They are no longer making these patterns, so I am going to keep it, and I might come back to it at another point in the future. Yeah, we're into indie pattern territory now. Right, so this is the thread count patterns. It's a beginner. It's the 1613. It's a surplus front or a faux wrap bodice. I am not going to keep that because I hate how these go together. If this had a midriff panel, then I would, because I just could finish the waistline better. But I'm not going to keep this one because of how the waistline goes together. This is the Simple Sew Skater Dress 006. I'm probably not going to keep this one either because I have the Sew Over It Betty dress, which is basically the same thing, and I have all the add-ons for it to make it like a V-back like this, a long sleeve, so that one can go. This is the Annabelle dress. It's a relaxed fit. I've actually seen somebody make this up and it looked really lovely on her. But again, I think I've got other ones that I would prefer more than this. So yeah, that one can go. Let's see, where did I get to with the chat? Noelia says, yes, I use lots of pins on viscose, but viscose crepe was a little stretchy and I messed things up. Rachel then says, I've made the 9041. It's one of my favorite dresses. Ah, nice. Sal says, so did I, Noelia. I had some extra fabric at the end from the stretch. Jacqueline says, I'm so sorry about Chiana. I had to change 2 cat diets for the same thing, and I ended up on a whole food diet. Whole chicken with a lot of bone broth. They take it much more fluid. Worked very well. Yeah, unfortunately, Chiana does not like wet food or like raw food of any type. I've tried quite a few times to get her onto a wet or raw food diet, and I've tried it the way that you're meant to, like introducing it slowly over a period of time, and she is just not interested. So at the moment, we're switching over to a dry food for urinary tract health, and we'll see how we go with that one. If it gets to the point where she is still suffering, I'm going to try the wet food stuff again. And I know for adult cats, especially fussy ones like mine, it can take up to a year to change over to foods. And I'm hoping that I can work with my vet and just make it so that she is comfortable and happy in that time, because like I said, he did talk about quality of life, and something I'd have to think about it because she's clearly in pain. So I am going to be doing my darndest to make her comfortable and happy. I'm so glad that you managed to get it to work for you, Jacqueline, and I will try the chicken broth, because that might be something that she'd be into. So I'll give that a try. Thank you for the suggestion. Rachel Lynn says, I put a link to the marvellous Mrs. Maisel dress up in the Peeps group. Thank you. Alexandra says, hello, hello, hello. What's going on here then? I'm having a little impromptu pattern clear out so that there's a video going up this week. There will be a hangout on Sunday as well. Don't know what I'm going to do on Sunday if I actually manage to clear these ones out though. But yeah, I can't sew at the moment because of my war wounds. So I thought I'd come on and do something that I can do, which is talk at you guys and try and sort out some patterns at the same time. Rachel Lynn says to Alexandra, mischief always mischief. Yep, that's one of Chiana's nicknames, Mischief, Miss Chiana, mischief. Yeah. Catherine says it works freezer paper as well as parchment, but you can see the edge of the fabric as easily or at all. I did use wax paper with gold lame. Oh, nice. Good knowledge, Catherine, and thank you for the tips. Johanna says, howdy. Lucky for me, I'm working from the house today and able to catch the stream. Oh, thank you, and thank you for joining us. Alexandra says, happy to see a live hangout today as it's my 50th birthday and everyone is in bed now. Happy birthday, Alexandra. Happy birthday. Charlie says, hugs for you and for Chiana. Thank you. Jacqueline says, happy birthday, Alexandra. And Alexandra says, thank you to Jacqueline. Yes, I'm so, there's 116 of you. I never thought this was happening. There'd be like maybe 5 or 6 of us and then people would catch it later. So thank you. Don't forget to like the hangout as well, peeps. There's 118 of us and 61 likes. I promise it helps. Right, we've got another simple sew. It is the Grace dress and skirts. Again, I don't think I'm going to keep this one purely and simply because I have other things in my pattern stash that are so similar, and it's a nice beginner's pattern, so I'll put this one up for sale. Then we've got the Simone dress from Victory Patterns. I actually bought this to make for a friend, but I think this would make a really lovely bikini cover up. The racer back makes it really difficult for me to wear a bra with it, but I wouldn't mind wearing that around the pool. And I really like how it looks. So I'm going to keep that one. And then they were having a sale on their old style paper patterns. So I got the Anouk dress and shirt, and I love it. I think it's gorgeous. I would probably do those sleeves with the dress version, and this piece here, you know, you can chevron it like they've done with a stripe, and just some really interesting color blocking options there. So that one's going to stay. So actually, out of that little pile, only 2 are staying. I'm doing quite well. Okay, so these ones, probably not going to get rid of very many of these ones. So over at Doris dress, that's going to stay. So over at Rosie dress, that's going to stay. I've made both of those. Love the Doris dress. Love the Doris dress. See if I can. Again, it's just waiting to be hemmed. But this was some random fabric. I had 3 meters of it, and I love how it came out. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it up high enough to show you that it's going to need hemming. Yeah, that hem went crazy. So that one needs to be hemmed. The Rosie dress, I've made it for a customer, but I want to make it for myself, so that's staying. The 1940s tea dress, love this. Haven't made it yet, need to make it. Betty dress. Do you see what I mean for like my comparison to kind of this one? I'm trying to hold 2 patterns up at the same time. It's similar-ish. It's similar-ish enough. And then also there was this one. It's similar enough that I don't need both of these, and I would like to keep this one. So keeping that one. We've got the by hand London Sophia dress. I've not made that one yet, but it is pretty. I really ought to pull my finger out and try that. Like that. Oh, did I just break my nail? No, I did not. Amazing. The Kim dress. I really need to make this one. And then for lots of people who are asking about the Grace bodice, this would be quite a good substitute for the Grace bodice. So there's that one. The Elisa Lex dress. I want to love this. I've made it for my niece out of red silk dupioni. It looks amazing on Elisa Lex herself, but I think the kind of lantern shaped skirt is not for me. But I do like the bodice of that one. We've got the flora dress. I have made both the wrap and the normal version of this. I like it a lot. I need to tweak my pattern. And then we've got the Anna dress, and I've made 35 of the bodice of this. So I think it's safe to say that I like that one. And shockingly, I'm not getting rid of any of those. Funny that. Okay. Where did I get to with the chat? Laurel says, hello all, sorry to hear Chiana is poorly. Thank you, Laurel. Kim says, happy birthday to Alexandra. Have a great day. Alexandra says, always a great day when cake and prezzies are involved. Definitely. Emily Rose says, thanks so much for brightening up my workday with talk of sewing patterns. You're welcome. Thank you for joining us. Alexandra says, my mum made me cry by giving me the sapphire and diamond ring and matching earrings dear grandpapa gave her. Oh, how lovely. That's a fabulous birthday present. How lovely to pass them down. Marita says, just popped in as well. Greetings from dull and rainy Finland. Happens to be my birthday as well. Happy birthday to you. Alexandra says, oh, you must be an awesome lady then, Marita. Charlie says, about to make a vegan chocolate cake. My husband will be 70 and we're having a party for him with some vegan and vegetarian guests. Happy birthday, Alexandra. And Alexandra says, oh, yummy times ahead. And then Charlie says, happy birthday to Marita as well. Yeah, it's a bit cloudy and grey and rainy here as well. I think I'm gonna do another 15 minutes and then I'm gonna go, because I think everyone's back from their walk now, and then I'm gonna go be sociable with my friends and family. So I've got some more indie patterns to do. So hopefully we can get through a little bit more. We've got 15 minutes. So this is the Tilly and the Buttons Martha dress. It came with my So Haley Jane box and the Lisa Comfort All Over Roses fabric to make it out of. This is very 60s-esque pattern. I'm not going to keep it. I'm going to get rid of this one because it's just not for me. It's not one that I would ever make up, and I have some things that are very, very similar. So I'm going to put that one in the to be got rid of pile. Then we've got my Deer and Doe patterns, which you will pry out of my cold dead hands. Eileen says, oh, what a lovely dress. The fabric is beautiful. Thank you. Are you talking about the one I'm wearing? Because it's actually beach pajamas, which you can't see. Hang on. Beach pajamas. I'm walking like Zoidberg. So yes. And I've put this on because it's very comfortable to wear. And there is a sew along for it as well. And I have linked the pattern in the description of this hangout. I am well on top of everything today. Charlie says, I'm just south of London. We had an epic thunderstorm last night. We had some awesome thunder as well. Nia was very happy. She does like the thunder. Right, so we've got the Deer and Doe Magnolia dress. I'm actually going to do this instead of the Simplicity 0013 that I tried. I think this is going to be a more successful version of that with the fabric that the very lovely Alexandra sent me. So yes, there's that one. There's the Réglisse dress. Again, I will make this way longer, but I love this, so that's staying. The Orchidée dress, their newest release. Love that. That's staying. Then we've got the Cardamom. This one is gorgeous, and I'm going to be featuring this in the next Get the Look the Less video, because if you make the sleeves a little poofier, it's a dead ringer for a Mara Hoffman dress. I think it was Mara Hoffman. Then we have the Coquelicot. Again, their new summer offerings. Totally love that. This one I never thought I'd buy, but I have seen so many people make this up and it looks awesome on them. It's the Myosotis. So I'm going to give that a try. Now, don't laugh at me. We've got the Deer and Doe Belladon dress, and I have the old packaging and the new packaging. Yes, I am that person. There's nothing different between the two dresses. They haven't done anything different. I just really like the new packaging. I don't know if I'm going to get rid of this one though. This one's going to go back into the stash, and I will think about perhaps what I've done, and then maybe think about the fact that I should probably sell the old style packaging, but I probably will keep it. So. Okay. Oh, I've got one that I missed. one that I missed. Ow, I got my hat. We've got the Amelia dress from Simple Sewing. And again, this is not for me because it is just pencil skirts. So that one can go. Right. Now, I think some of these should be in my evening gown select section. But these are the kind of larger Vogue designer dresses. So this again is an old one. It goes up to a size 12. It's the Vogue 2745 from the NY collection. And it's a bias cut dress, which you can do the overlay in lace, and then the underneath is a slip pattern. But you can do the overlay as just the dress if you want to, which they've done with the white one. I think this is stunning. I'm going to keep this. Then we've got Donna Karen 2784. It only goes up to a size 8. Again, it's an overlay dress with a whole bunch of godets in silk chiffon, which is one of the recommended patterns that they use for it, with a slip dress that goes underneath. Nightmare, but I'm going to keep it. This is newer Vogue, so 1633. I think Rachel's made this recently, and she made the version that the lady's wearing with the full skirt, but it's not actually a full enough skirt. And she said it didn't quite balance out with the big sleeves and the high neckline. So I'm going to take a leaf out of Rachel's book and make it with a much fuller skirt. I'm going to add some flair to the skirt and probably have to add panels to the skirt as well, but I'm going to keep that one. Vogue 1672. Emily Horman was talking about doing a sew along for this one, and it never quite panned out, but I'm really glad that I got the dress because it's a wrap front dress. Now, I have said that I hate those because of the way they get finished, but this has a waistband in it, which means I can tuck all the raw edges into the waistband and then fully line the waistband if that's not what the pattern calls for. So I am going to keep this one. I like the longer sleeve version as well, but again, I would make those into bishop sleeves. And this is very reminiscent of a dress that Meghan Markle wore before she got married to Prince Harry. Vogue 1671. It is really pretty. I like that a lot. I really like there was a hashtag yellow, make a yellow dress that was going around with this one last summer. And I really like the detailing that they've done on this one with the navy stripes on the cream dress. So I'm going to keep that. So they can stay. Next, we've got the Audrey dress from Simple Sewing magazine, and I think they've been really clever with the envelope of this. I think it's a really cleverly designed envelope, and this would be how I would wear it with the roll neck underneath. I think it's a really, really pretty dress. However, I already have this. I have this probably a couple of times over, so I am going to put that one in the to be sold pile. Where did I get to with the chat? Sarah May says, was Nia in the garden last night in the rain? They were, yes, they were. They're sleeping in a tent, believe it or not. But yes, Nia was very happy that there was thunderstorms. Louise says, just joined as on my lunch break. What have you done to your hand? My cat bit me and scratched me. And she's done that to this finger as well, which not quite as obvious. But yeah, that's the worst bit there. And then my legs are a bloody, bloody mess. But it's fine. I am surviving. Hand up. Yeah, and if you want to hear it in more detail, Louise, if you watch the beginning of the hangout later, then I've put the full story at the beginning of the hangout, so of what's happened. Alexandra says, I washed that fabric and many hundreds more meters of my stash, prepping everything for sewing at will. Yes. Yes. Sarah says she loves the Maya Sotis dress. Yeah, I need to make that one. Debbie says, if you sell the deer and doe in the old packaging, that makes room for a new pattern. It does. I don't know why I'm obsessively hanging on to that one. You're right. You are right. You are indeed right. I shouldn't be keeping this one as well. I have used highlighter on the pattern of this one to highlight the ones that I need to trace. So I'll have to let the buyer know that. But yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Why am I keeping both? That is silly. Next, we've got the 1556, which I did try and make into Beth Harmon's tartan dress earlier this year, and I fluffed it up a little last year. I fluffed it up a little bit, but I do really like this one. Julian recommended that I should get this one. I think he was right. I'm going to make it, but without the attached belts, because I would like to be able to wear different belts with it. But I would also wear it as they have shown it, as like a dress that is to be worn over other things. But that's staying. This is a Vogue Options. It's an old one. It only goes up to a size 10. It's the 2530. It's a whole bunch of different dresses. They are all backless and they all button up the back. And as much as I love this, I'm never going to make those. And I have some other those other Vogue Option ones that have better options for me. So that one can go. This is Vogue 2429. It goes up to a size 12. So this might just fit me. This is a strappy sundress, which does have a halter neck option, but the majority of them have straps that can be used to cover bras. So I'm going to keep that one. Got the Trend Patterns pleated shoulder dress. I love this. I think it's gorgeous. I've seen this made up in real life. I bought this from the show and it is stunning. So I'm keeping that one. We've got the Trend Patterns bias cut t-shirt dress. So I'm going to keep that one as well. I think that is also stunning. I have seen this one made up by a few people as well, and I think it looks amazing. So keeping that one. And then we've got the So La Di Da heritage pattern, the Destiny dress, which is beautiful. And she talks you through how to put all those lace details on it. It's actually a very simple silhouette, but it's really effective with the different like laces and stuff on it. So I'm keeping this one, but this one should be in my evening gown selection, which I have here. So let's finish the evening gowns off. We've got 5 minutes. Let's see if I can write evening gowns. I didn't put the lid all the way on. Okay. Now, some of these I probably will keep just for the kind of like what the fluff factor, like this 2802 Bevel Sassoon one. I've only got up to a size 10 in this, so it's never going to fit me, but I think it is just beautiful. I really like it. I would probably want to make this version as a going out party dress rather than an evening gown dress, but I think it's stunning, so I'm keeping that one. And we've got another size up to size 10, 2810 Bevel Sassoon with a corseted overlay. Again, I think that's really, really pretty. I'm not going to get rid of that one. Bachka Mishkli 2237. This goes up to a size 12, and it's for a strapless dress with a tiny little bolero on it as well. So I'm going to keep that one. And then I have my Vogue fitting shell, which actually did come with the Susie Farah patterns. So I'm going to put those in this little section here. And then this one can go at the end of the dresses. Okay. So the next section is button-up dresses. Then we've got wrap dresses. We've got suits, boleros, blazers, waistcoats, bomber jackets, anoraks, trench coats, capes, coats, and that's it. So I've got a few more sections to go, but as I say, everyone's back now. So I haven't done too badly, and as you can see, I'm kind of getting to the point which I wanted to, where there's more space in here. Let me just tip you. So there's just, you know, it's not quite so cram-packed as it was. These ones are very packed. And there's space in a few of this one's packed, but there's space in this one and this one down here. And again, as I've mentioned, the whole idea is, like I've done over here, I'm going to empty these cubes out of fabric, and then the magazine file folders are going to go and live over there, so that patterns can come and live in this one as well. So that, because patterns is something that I'm always going to be collecting and always going to have more of. Whereas fabric, I would like to try and get it under control and not buy quite so much until I need to make something up. Having said that, at the moment, my textile centre basket is around £240 because they have a selection of viscoses that are all the same kind of colours, like mustard, red, black and cream, and they're all very different prints, but I think if I bought them and made a collection out of them, I think they'd be amazing together. But I don't need fabric. I have so much fabric, and I have collections planned for the next year, basically. So as much as I want to buy that fabric, I am restraining myself because I don't need it. But yeah, I think I've done pretty well. So the top ones are quite stuffed. I might need to just rejig a little bit down the bottom so that there's a little bit more, maybe so I've got one cubby hole to kind of play around with at the top there. But I think I've done pretty well. So thank you so much for the impromptu hangout. Let me catch up with the chat, and then we'll call it a day. Let's see. Hand up. Eileen says beach pajamas are fab, but I meant the Doris. Oh yeah, the Doris dress is lovely. Yes. Mel says silk chiffon is the devil's fabric. Yes. Alexandra says a sheer cotton dobby would be an alternative to the chiffon overlay. Oh yeah, that would be pretty. I've also got a sheer viscose crinkle fabric that I got from Selvage and Bolts from Dibs that would also work. Although that is planned onto being like a Zimmerman copy. Nikki says, right, off to work, off to do the weekly trolley dash. Catch the rest later. Bye. Thank you for joining us, Nikki. Jacqueline says, I cooked the chicken. I was too nervous to do raw. Key was adding bone broth, unsalted, just so that they got the added fluids. That's a good knowledge. Good knowledge, Jacqueline. Thank you. I shall try that. Because I do need to make her drink more, definitely. Charlie says, loving the Destiny dress. Isn't it beautiful? Alexandra says, well done. Thank you. Jacqueline says, I can't get over the packaging for the indie patterns. So much nicer than the big four. Yes. Linda says, hi. Hello. Welcome. Charlie says, you have done well. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, hang on. I got rid of quite a few. I'm surprised, in all honesty. I'll have to let Nia know so she can come and have a look through and see if there's anything she wants. Dee says, good job, thank you. Gin and Pin says, hello peeps, this is a surprise. I'm visiting my family on the Wirral for the first time in 18 months, getting ready to go out in the rain for lunch. Oh, enjoy. I love the Wirral. Mum and Dad lived there for a while. Alexandra says, hugs to both you and Shiana. Noelia says, bye to everyone. Myra says, lovely time. Thank you for sharing your beautiful stash. Have a great day. Thank you, Myra. It was nice to see you. Yvonne says, hi, Sean. Just seen this. We'll watch from the beginning. So sorry about your injuries. Thank you, Yvonne. That's no worries at all. Just reminding me to keep my hand up. Rachel Lynn says, good job. Hugs to you all. Have a wonderful day. And Natalie says, thanks for the company while I did kitchen chores. Have a lovely day all. Yes, thank you very much for hanging out with me in my little impromptu hangout. There's 124 of us. Wow. And 92 likes. Thank you. So I've still got a little bit left to do on Sunday, so I'm going to put a live hang up for Sunday as well, but I wanted to let you guys know what was going on and where I was and all that sort of stuff. So thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for making me be so productive, and I will see you all on Sunday. Bye. Now I've got to end it gracefully. Try. Bye.